Hi guys, welcome back to Newcastle Fans TV. We feel that we need to put a video out over the last 24 hours about the takeover talk and how, Rob, it's happening again, isn't it? And obviously the Wall Street Journal released yesterday information that the deal had apparently been close-ish. Again, this is just reports, not our opinion. That Mike Ashley is talking to the Saudi, I don't know, is it government? Is it the Saudi? Something to do with Saudi Arabia.
Wherever the money's coming
Wherever the money coming from. Yeah, exactly. And obviously they have a lot to do with this deal. 80% of the potential deal for Newcastle United will be by them, 10% by the Reuben brothers, and 10% by Mrs. Staley, Amanda Staley, remember her? I think everybody does, doesn't they, Rob?
Yep.
What was your immediate first thoughts when you heard of the story yesterday?
We've heard it all before. Another transfer window, another takeover story of Mike Ashley wanting out. And you fast forward to January 2020 and Mike Ashley is still at Newcastle United. So this was certainly taken with a pinch of salt at first. I have to admit, I'm someone now, I've reached a point now where I will not believe it until any interested buyers are seen around St James's Park, or like actually full on, it's confirmed that they have bought Newcastle. So.
Yeah, so let's just start with the facts. A public investment fund controlled by the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. It's a massive name, so I'm just going to start with them three names. But yeah, Mohammed bin Salman has been in communication, it looks like, with Amanda
Smells fishy.
Exactly. Has been in communication with Amanda Staveley about trying to get a deal done. Amanda Staveley, we all know, has done deals with Sheikh Mansour and the United Arab Emirates group with Manchester City and PSG, also when they got taken over as well. Amanda Staley has had a lot of interest in those deals. £340 million roughly is the price that's being rumoured, Rob. Again, obviously people are getting excited. I think obviously the fact that when you hear how much these people are worth, and we had this with Sheikh Khaled in the summer as well, do you think that's more what excites fans, is the amount of money they can potentially bring?
Yeah, when you see them on the rich list of richest individuals in the world, and you see that, and then you automatically, you go into this state of thinking, oh, where could we be in 5 years' time? I hate that question in interviews. Where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years' time? And all of a sudden, Newcastle fans are thinking, oh, hang on, we can, buy the next Mbappe, we can buy the next Messi in about 5 years' time. And when you do think like that, when you go into that world of fantasy, you do think, oh, it'll be brilliant if it comes off. It'll be brilliant if it's true. But sadly, all the time since this all sort of rigmarole started, we've just kept on being let down.
Yeah, I can completely understand from what Rob's saying. Like, people do get let down over these stories, and I think even journalists like Pete Graves hasn't really mentioned a lot. You've looked at likes of maybe Keith Downey has to report on it. Lee Ryder has to report on it. It's his job. When they talk about the sources and things like that, it's saying that one source may be saying it's getting done next week, and obviously the people are rumoured and saying it's 90% done already, Rob. It might be a case that talks are still probably quite early. A lot of people have a lot of things to say about this deal, and what we've heard in the last hour, this is now, what time is it, about 25 past 8 on a Sunday night, is that the deal could even still be collapsed because of the fact that it's been leaked out to the media. Mike Ashley and his men and his team don't like that. Do you think that, again, is probably, maybe people are kind of jumping the gun at potential takeovers happening, especially with Newcastle?
Well, whenever takeovers do happen, they happen very quickly. You never see takeovers being described as drawn-out affairs, do you? So I think whenever you see the word takeover, you're thinking immediacy.
Yeah, for sure. Newcastle haven't commented. The Premier League haven't commented. And none of Mike Ashley's team have really commented. It is bitchy.
No comment there.
No comment.
There, yeah.
Which they did all summer with Sheikh Khaled. Look, Rob, I think the next couple of weeks are going to be crucial. Obviously, the transfer deadline is at the end of the week. Obviously, Newcastle rumoured to be after a couple of players. Do you think that has any impact, these stories, over the next couple of days? In terms of maybe we've been linked with like Danny Rose and Jared Bowen in particular. Do those deals potentially happen or not because of this?
I don't think it changes where your transfer target identifies, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, you have to, whilst the takeover process goes on, you're thinking that there must be a transfer embargo at some point, even if it's just for a day or two, to put the brakes on. I think even if new owners came in just like that tomorrow, then you have to think, right, we'll just start transfer talk in the summer.
Yeah, it's been called...
It's convenient that way.
Oh, for sure. It's been called Project Zebra. Obviously, Amanda Staveley has done... She's made a new company, and it's on the... I think it's... Where does it come from? Is it more on the... You can create your own company or something. You can create things like this quite easily. Stop. What's it called? Sorry, Lee? Company houses. There you go. Lee knows all this stuff. He's a lot better with this than me. But company houses is what Amanda Staveley has done. As well, obviously other things like 200 million has been set aside on improving training purposes, like training grounds, things like that. Things that people can get excited about. I think the latest information that we know, Rob, is that apparently my Ashley's accountants have told the club that it'll be disappearing from the book, as in the accounts and everything like that, and that the club will it'll be gone, it'll be sold. I think what we're kind of saying to our subscribers and everybody that watches the videos is just take the news with a pinch of salt.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to something like this, I mean, Kyle said it a lot on the radio show. It's the hope that kills you when you're a Newcastle fan, and yeah, I just don't want to keep building up. I don't want to keep building up all the hope that, oh yes, things could change when they so need to be, and then only for us to be in the same situation in about 3 or 5 years' time. Yeah, I don't want to be like that. So, I mean, I will celebrate big time if and when it does happen, whenever Mike Ashley does leave the club, even if it's in 50 years' time. But I think, right now, I'll always be sceptical about any alleged takeover until it is fully gone through.
Yeah, this is just a news roundup, so get your comments in. What do you make of these rumours? Because I think we still got to call them rumours until anything happens. Which journalists do you believe in? I think it'd be interesting to get your opinion. Who do you actually trust when they come out with these stories as well? And I'll give you the question: are Newcastle United going to be sold in the next week, the next year, the next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? Let's see what will happen in the near future. We're going to have all the videos this week. We've got the Norwich previews coming out as well, and we'll probably have something with the transfer deadline day. Will Newcastle United get any more signings in? Let's wait and see over the next week. Like and subscribe to Newcastle Fans TV. Thank you very much, Rob.
Thank you, Johnny.
And we'll see you next time.
You're the night sky trying to make me see your stars, but the dark gets lonely. Now I see violet, I can feel silence, and the dark's all that I see when your stars have burnt out.